My name's Duddits, I do builds and stuff. Today's video is all based around a glaive. Going to get some absolutely humongous damage with our glaive, but more importantly, we're going to be so tanky with this build. We're going to be featuring Frost Armor via Spirit of the Renewal, and we're also going to be featuring Severing with our Tangles and our Fredlings, including Threaded Spectre. So basically, Frost Armor stacks with Severing on top of that, and we're featuring Spirit of the Synthoceps for massive glaive damage on top of some other glaive bonuses this season. This build makes you pretty much unkillable and be able to put out some massive damage. Before I start breaking the video down, I just want to say I'm going to break this down a lot, so it's very scientific, so stay with me, I'll break it down. The first part of the equation, shall we say, will be the refusal of the Call Adept glaive. This is a strand glaive. It's got a couple of perks on there, auto loading holster, which I quite like. You just put it away, it's just going to reload after a certain amount of time. Close to melee, glaive projectile final blows improve glaive melee damage for an improved duration, and a glaive projectile or melee damage extends the duration. It gives you a 30% damage increase on your melee when you get a projectile kill, and you can extend it. You've also got a very nice origin trait in Willing Vessel. Dealing damage or defeating targets with this weapon gradually increases its stability, handling, reload speed and charge time. It's decreased over time, but is gained more quickly whilst nearby allies are near you. So basically, what I want to do is just show you the damage increase that we're going to be stacking. So if you just take a look at the first damage number I hit with this glaive on Carl, 14,186. I'm going to slow that down. And in the next clip, you're going to see an absolutely humongous damage increase of 380%. It hits Carl for 68233 from 14,000. I'm going to break that down now, so stay tuned. On the exotic class item, and the first combo is Spirit of Synthoceps. Improves melee damage when you are surrounded. Works with glaives. It gives you 100% glaive melee damage when you're surrounded. Obviously, that's super easy to activate or proc, and then we've got close to melee added onto that as well. Now, glaive projectile kills grant a 30% glaive melee damage increase for 10 seconds, and you can also extend the buff by getting melee damage. So basically, I'm stacking Spirit of Synthoceps with close to melee, and we're also going to be stacking NooLvL, rapid glaive melee final blows, grant special ammo, glaives additional ammo, blocking with glaives increases their melee damage. It's an 85% damage increase is NooLvL. Add that with your Spirit of Synthoceps and your close to melee. That's what's resulting in the absolutely humongous damage increase of 380%. So you'll see there 14k, and it's going to go all the way up to 68233, and that's very easy to do. All you have to do is make sure you're surrounded, get a projectile kill and block before you melee. It's absolutely massive damage increase on that glaive. Now that's the damage covered. Now about the damage resistance. Spirit of Renewal. Allies inside the Dustfield Grenade gain Frost Armor. It's 6.25% per stack, and you get ×5 with the exotic class item. So you get a ×5 stack at 6.25 per stack. That is a 31% damage reduction, and don't forget, you actually reduce the target's damage as well when they're inside that Dustfield Grenade. So it's a really nice damage reduction combo. However, we can get even more damage reduction via our Threaded Spectre. So whenever you activate your class ability, this is going to leave behind a strand decoy, and when it takes enough damage, it's going to explode, and Fredlings seek out and attack nearby foes. And it also acts like a decoy. It's very solid. All enemies will just focus on that little decoy. It's really nice, but the Fredlings are what's the most important part. Because of Horde Shuttle, the boosted version, Fredlings sever targets that they damage. So every time that decoy explodes, then Fredlings are going to sever, which is up to 50% damage reduction with the Disruptor Spike. You've also got Vile Weave on there. All your targets hit by your Tangles are severed, so you're going to have even more damage reduction from that target via your Fredlings or your Tangles. And you can easily create Fredlings and Tangles with the Threaded Spectre. You'll notice Carl is glowing green, So he is again severed up to 50% outgoing damage reduction, and it's just absolutely perfect combo, and it's very easy to create tangles as well because you are severing everything, which you will then create a tangle when you kill that severed target or any strand debuff target. So you've got severing everywhere, and it's not like a massive bonus, but you can even get an extra 5% damage increase with the boosted version of Unraveling Orbs, because strand weapons deal increased damage to debuff targets. So basically, you're going to have loads and loads of damage. You've got your Dustfield Grenade to reduce outgoing damage from the target. You've got your Severing. You've got your massive melee damage increase. And on top of that, even more crazy, we can actually get Woven Mail as well when needed. So 2 shreds, unraveling projectiles deal increased damage. These deal further damage to severed targets, but you can actually create hotspots of Woven Mail with that seasonal artifact combo. You'll see there, Woven Mail, it just pops up. It is there, it's just that I've got too many buffs on my screen. So you can actually get Woven Mail. Now, Woven Mail doesn't stack with Frost Armor, but you can have both sort of running together, or if you haven't got one, you've got the other one at the same time. And you can see in this one how many tangles and Fredlings I'm creating. He's severed as well, and it's just a really easy combo to do. I'm not even blocking here to get my NooLvL, and I'm not surrounded, and you can still easily deal with a champion. So you can sort of see in the the 2050 Lost Sector, the highest difficulty one, you are pretty tanky. We've got loads of other benefits as well, which we'll go into as we go, but I just want to show you how easy it is to sort of get that severing going, get your tangles going, get that decoy down, and the whole sort of build works together perfectly. Your decoy is a big part of the build as well, because that will also give you damage reduction because enemies won't shoot at you. You got your Woven Mail from your seasonal artifact perks, and you can even block with your glaive, which gives you massive damage reduction as well. And you can see here I'm surrounded, going in and out of invisibility. The other aspect is Stylish Executioner, because every time you kill a debuff target, it's going to make you invisible. It's just too good not to run. Pair that up with your threaded Spectre and all the other stuff you've got going on, you are literally infinitely invisible too. So, yep, I just wanted to show you how easy it is to create them tangles and the Fredlings to easily apply that sever, debuff that target, you're going to go invisible, you got loads of damage reduction, get surrounded, massive melee damage, your decoy's there acting as a decoy like it states. So the whole thing just works absolutely perfectly together. I've also got some clips of this show you with working in the Sunless Cell GM as well coming up, but again, I just want to sort of show you how much damage reduction you actually get. I sponge that attack off him then. No problems, he's severed. And when you've got the damage combo all sorted, you can literally see huge chunks of the health coming off with your glaive, which just feels absolutely fantastic. Very, very strong. Now, if you've got Icebreaker, this is also exceptional because final blows or assists with other weapon or ability have a chance to give you ammo. So you can get free ammo with this, and on top of that, it actually works nice with your Dustfield Grenade, because if you land a hit on a slowed off frozen target, you're going to get ammo back as well. So you can actually run a double special ammo with this setup, double ammo special build, because you can get ammo back on your Icebreaker, and you're predominantly using your glaive just to melee really. So, and look, if you look at that bottom left there, you're going to see I'm just getting chunks and chunks of ammo back from my Icebreaker via my glaive kills. So it's just an option to some other options as well. But I found Icebreaker very, very good, and it's anti-barrier sniper this season. I've just got one more little thing to show you. The Heavy Ordinance Regeneration Seasonal Artifact Pack gives you damage reduction when you use a heavy machine gun or a rocket launcher. So if you're out your Dustfield Grenade or you're not severing, you can always pull out your machine gun and get some damage resistance that way as well. You'll see on that bottom left. Just an option. Again, I just wanted to throw that option out there. You can have damage resistance from your heavy as well, or a rocket launcher. I've just got a couple more clips of the a different Lost Sector, and then I'll show you this working just perfectly in the Sunless Cell GM. You'll see there, close to melee is pretty easy to proc. Just get a glaive projectile kill, and you'll see there I've got that close to melee proc there, good 10 seconds. Get your Icebreaker out, break that barrier, just go to work, get your Dustfield Grenade down, get your resistance. You'll notice it's green, all severed up nicely. And like I said, it does actually chunk through enemies very, very fast. You'll see the chunks just literally dissipating off these enemies here. Just massive chunks once you've got the sort of barrier down. You'll see there, look at the state of that. He's just gone. I was just absolutely nuts. So, look at the state of this. This is not me with no reduction going. And just look how fast you get wrecked. That is just absolutely nuts. So you can see the damage reduction that you're getting. Sunless Cell GM time. Works a treat in here. I really enjoyed running this. Just being able to sever as well. Not just for yourselves, for your teammates. And that threaded Spectre is just really nice in here. Because everything will focus that. You've got that Glaive melee damage to keep coming in and out with invisibility. And you can just sort of run around with your Glaive and feel very protected. Look at the state of this. It's just chewing through these. I know these are champions. There isn't a real lot of champions in here. There's a lot of mages. And you can sort of do some real nice damage to these mages. You can literally clear spawns with your Glaive. It just feels so good. I'm just going to leave the clips playing out for a moment while I talk to you about something, little idea that I had. Now, in GMs, what I've always found, especially with like Glaive builds, like they're pretty good in certain areas, but not for the full sort of GM, if that makes sense. There's only a few GMs where you could actually run a full-on Glaive build to be sort of optimal. So what I've always thought about GMs over the last couple of seasons, like we get locked loadouts at the moment. Now, what happens if we could maybe do one switch in a GM or two switches, something like that, so we don't have full locked loadouts? Let me know what you think. That'd open up some more builds that you can't really run in a full GM. So basically, the next clip, I'm going to go over the fragments and aspects again, because that also benefits the build very nice. So obviously I'm on Prismatic. The aspects we've sort of touched on anyway. Stylish execution of Threaded Spectre. The next one obviously is going to be the Dustfield Grenade. We need that for our Renewal Grasps. Really good for Overloads as well, and Unstoppables. Threaded Spike to Sever, which is another strand debuff. We've also got Faceted Protection. While surrounded by combatants, you're more resistant to incoming damage. Just a no-brainer, even more damage reduction. Facet of Hope, part of an elemental buff, which you do all the time. Your class ability regenerates more quickly. Loads of Threaded Spectre energy. Facet of Awakening, rapidly defeated targets with light or darkness damage, or Super Final Blows is going to create elemental pickups, i.e. tangles, even more severing. Facet of Balance, rapidly defeating targets with light damage, grants melee energy. Darkness damage, grants grenade energy, so you can get loads of Dustfield Grenade energy as well. And then Facet of Purpose, picking up an Orb of Power, will give us Woven Mail on top of the other things you've already seen. But that pretty much wraps up the video. I will leave a dim link, I'll leave a Mobalytics link. I hope you found this helpful. Sorry it was a little bit longer, but it did require a little bit of a breakdown. Thanks for watching, have a great day.